He will do anything to help the team win. He's someone who Coach and I knew we could count on, and someone who has been a huge part of everything we did this year. His desire to improve himself on and off the field is obvious to anyone who knows him, and I know he, like the rest of the seniors I've mentioned so far, will have a tremendous experience in college and will have success beyond that. Jordan Dollinger. Yeah, it was good. It was well done. It was good contact. Okay, next. This young man is somebody who I've known for, I don't know, probably close to 10 years at this point. From when I was coaching at his dad's facility, and him always, whenever he saw me, challenging me to a crossbar challenge as an annoying little kid, to now seeing him grow up. It's been a heck of a ride. I've coached him now for 4 years, and he was one of the 10 seniors that I brought up, that Coach and I brought up with us in our first year as the varsity coaches. He's been a hugely important player for us throughout that time as a sophomore, a junior, and now as a senior. His technique, his positioning, and his soccer IQ are excellent. And throughout this year, he played a really big part in everything we did on the field. He may not have had the stats to show his importance to the team, but as the teams and the games got tougher, he seemingly got better. And in every game, he improved. Coach and I were discussing him, and Coach correctly guessed that his time would come in the semis or the finals, and he was right. His goal put the dagger into Clarence's heart, and I had a feeling at that moment that we would be the state champions. His work ethic and his desire to improve himself on and off the field is obvious to anyone who knows him, and he is an incredibly good golf player as well. And whether he chooses to play soccer or golf in college, we have no doubt he will be successful at it in all regard. All right. Romanian Thunder, as we jokingly refer to this next player, is a wonderful student and a player. I taught him, he's another one that I had the opportunity to teach in my global history class, and the same qualities he brings to the field are evident in the classroom. Hard work, dedication, attention to detail, working at everything to make himself that little bit better. He too has been a 3-year varsity player and a starter, and in my opinion has never received the recognition he deserves, not only as a defender but also as a player going forward. He's a forward/winger in a defender's position, and he curbed his natural desire to go forward as the season went on to more fit into the style and system I was asking him to play. Although, no, sometimes he would still try to make those crazy kind of runs and I would pull my hair out. But no, overall he really didn't try. Teams constantly tried to figure him out and failed to do so. It was kind of funny to watch teams try to do that and then switch and put the guy on the other side and see him try to attack our other outside back, and that never really worked for them either. And teams kind of realized oftentimes at that point that they were pretty much screwed. He's been a huge part of our success over the last 3 years, and he, like all the seniors, will be greatly missed. He's looking to play in college, and I know wherever he goes, he will have success because he will bring the same qualities I mentioned earlier with him to university. We wish you the best, and we look forward to hearing about everything at the next level. Joe Nasty. All right, the man with the nicknames. This guy is another of the players brought up as a sophomore who's been an integral part of everything we've done the last 3 years. He's played left back, right mid, left mid, center back, and seemingly everything in between. And he's been a constant in our teams over those 3 years. His athleticism, grit, physicality, and determination on the field cannot be coached or taught. And every time, on every field, he's been one of the players that exhibits that the most. His respect, his humor, and his willingness to do anything for his teammates and friends is a testament to who he is as a person and a player. He's an incredibly gifted athlete and a hard-working student who's well-loved, as all of our seniors are, within the MW community. They got the clout now, right, Nolan? Is that it? Yeah, the clout has increased, yeah, so there you go. He too is involved in seemingly every club and was nominated by Varsity 845 as the Student Athlete of the Month. It's a testament to who he is on and off the field, an example to all those around him. And he also is my personal favorite interviewee of all time. And after the one game, My wife and I were watching the interview, and she said to me, he's speaking English, but I don't know what he's saying. And he concluded the interview with, I just think it was, yeah, baby. It brought a huge smile to my face. We look forward to hearing about everything he does moving forward, Christian Hess. All right. So, this next young man, another one who came up with us as a sophomore, another one who contributed a lot of time, a lot of minutes. And I was genuinely saddened by his decision to step away from the game for a year. There were, I think, a number of things that sort of contributed to that. And he decided to get the crazy idea in his head that he wanted to play football. No, but anyway, no, I'm just kidding. He expressed to me at the end of his junior year that he wanted to come back. He'd grown.
Coach, correction. Halfway through the football season, he expressed his idea.
He did, yeah, that is true. But we spoke more seriously about it at the end of the season. And I looked at him and was blown away by like the seemingly 5 or 6 inches he had grown. And thinking about the rest of our team, other than pretty much like Brody and Titi, who are all, smaller, I was like, yeah, damn sure you can come back, right? We could definitely use somebody of your size. And he did. And he brought his, what was the line you guys always said? The big body, right? He brought that back to the team. Now, his coming back was a huge part of why we had the success that we did. He played basically his entire career as a midfielder, and so he brought that technical ability and that ability to spot a pass and to receive the ball into the back line. His ability to help us build from the back, to hit the long diagonal when it needed to be done, and to go forward on set pieces was a huge, huge piece of things that we looked to do as the year went on. He scored 6 goals, which is pretty impressive for a center back, and continued to be a big part of everything we did. Joey Olivet. All right, we're almost there, I promise, we're almost there. You're all thinking, oh my God, how much longer is this guy going to talk for? All right, this young man is the only player with previous experience on our team of winning a sectional championship, something which I often reminded the team of during my insane rants in the early part of the year, when they drove me to, I don't know, rage and madness and whatever else. Now, he did that as a freshman, as a varsity player, something that is very, very rare in this area, certainly in a Class AA school. He was a key starter for us as a sophomore. He scored a number of huge goals and notched a lot of key assists. His junior year was cruelly taken away from him by a knee injury, along with our young friend Ikeel, aka Iziel. And I have no doubt that if we had had them healthy last season, we would have been in a similar place to where we were this year. His hold-up play, his skill with the ball at his feet, and his finishing ability was vital to what we tried to do this year. He played oftentimes as a lone striker and bore a lot of punishment from opposition defenses. But he still finished the season as our top goal scorer, and I think the top assist guy. I think. Or it was close. Oh, okay, sorry, Akil. Stats. Got to fight for those stats. He was voted MVP of the Final Four for his 2 goals and 2 assists in 2 games, including the game winner against Clarence in the state finals. In spite of his propensity for screaming at everyone on the field, including his own coaches at times, he was a huge part of what we did. And we wish him, and we know that he will have continued success moving forward. We wish him the best on and off the field. Chris Dallas. All right. Oh boy, our next player. Okay. This young man was also a key starter as a sophomore, during which he was actually chosen as an all-section player and a Class AA All-Star by the coaches of Section 9. I first met him also at Colin's dad's facility years and years ago when I worked there, and I was struck by this annoying little live wire that never shut up. I dreaded having to coach him for his craziness not only on the field, but much more frequently off the field. He's loud, he's funny, he never listens, he's a total joker, and has a hard time being serious. But he's an incredible soccer player. His junior year, like Chris, was taken from him cruelly by a knee injury. But the two of them worked hard and pushed each other to come back from such a setback and come back stronger than ever. Poetically, these 2 young men connected on our first and ultimately game-winning goal for the state championship. Today, even just today, and I didn't even write this, but today we were sitting on the bench talking, and he said to me, "Damn, Coach, I can't believe thinking about where I was last year to where I am now." And that's a testament to what you've done off the field. I've often told him, "You're lucky that you make me laugh so much, otherwise I would be literally tempted to kill you." But laugh he does. And we know he too will go on to achieve great things on and off the field, as all the boys will. We wish him nothing but the best. Ikeel Collins Brown. This young man is someone who didn't always see eye to eye with me. We fought, we clashed, I kicked him out of practice. I told him that he has the worst middle child syndrome of any child I have ever known. All joking aside, he is a hell of a soccer player. He is one of the most technically gifted and talented players I've ever coached. His ability on the ball, with the ball at his feet, to spot a pass, to shoot, to receive a ball in tight situations is second to none. His conditioning is among the best on our team, and his growth as a leader into arguably the key player on the field for us was obvious to anyone watching the games at the end of the season. He was without question the best player on the field against NFA, Horseheads, Ketchum, and Baldwinsville, and he was vital to our success this year. No offenses intended. He's also an incredibly hard-working student off the field, and I have no doubt he too will go on to achieve great things. This year he scored 8 goals, 4 of 5 of which I think were game winners. He had 6 assists, all from a defensive midfield position. As a junior, he was named to the second team Times Herald Record All-Star team. He was a first team all-section player voted on by the Section 9 coaches, and a first team all-class AA player as voted on by the section coaches. He received those same awards this year. He also made it onto the All-State team in the New York State Large School format, and is one of 3 of our players who is nominated as an All-Region and possible All-American player. Connor Payton. All right. This young man allowed an incredible 5 goals in 21 games for the New York State Class AA champions. He kept, was it 15 or 16 shutouts? 16. It was 16. It was 16. He kept 16 shutouts, that's what I thought. Not that you're keeping track. Last year, I think it was, what was it last year? 7 goals or something we allowed? 8 goals. Oh, how embarrassing. Last year he allowed only 8 goals. And he kept, it was like what, 11 shutouts? 14. Mom
knows.
That's right. There's a 5-goal bombardment against Goshen. Now, all right. Before the season, he was named on the All-America watch list and has since committed to Marist. He has always impressed me in goal, and he maintains an incredible shot-stopping. He combines an incredible shot-stopping ability with a calm, cool demeanor. Coach came up with this, and I had to put it in there. In 1,680 minutes of regular time during the season and 25 minutes of overtime, Dylan's goals against average was .0029. He, like many of the guys, has been with Coach and I since his freshman year. He's been a joy to coach, and to say that would be an understatement. To close, let me read off the awards he's won. As a junior, he was first team Times Herald Record All-Star. He was first team All-Section. He was first team All-Class AA. He was voted joint team MVP. And as a senior, has been nominated not only for the All-State team, New York State Large School format, but also as one of our 3 representatives to the All-America and All-Region team. Dylan McDermott. All right. So we're almost there. 2 more to go, and then I'll shut up. All right. One of our two captains. And to my knowledge, this guy is the only person in the program's history who was a 2-year captain. He's a shining example of what it means also to be a student athlete. Like many of our players, he's an honors student who's in the upper echelons of his class in GPA. I had the opportunity to teach him for 2 years, like Brody and like Shippey in my AP World History class, and he impressed me every day. He brings many of those same intangibles to the soccer field. He impressed Coach and I every day with his work ethic, his skill, his physicality, his aggression, and his demeanor. He has many of the things that you can't coach. You can coach positioning, you can coach technique, you can coach those things. You cannot coach heart. And he has more heart than most players I've ever seen. Over the last 2 seasons, his growth as a player and a leader was obvious and impressive to see. Simply put, in many games he was the backbone of our team. In some games he won seemingly every 50-50 there was to be won. Every aerial duel. He ran more than any player on the field. He sometimes did the running of 2 players. He was recognized by many of the Section 9 coaches and college coaches as well for his efforts. I know he too will go on to achieve great things both on and off the field, and I look forward to hearing about them. He also, as a junior, was named he was honorable mention to the all-class AA team and all-section team. He was voted joint team MVP with Dylan as a junior, and this year as a senior was selected as an all-class AA All-Star and an all-section All-Star. He also won the Sportsmanship Award from the Final Four. Nolan Kelly. Gotta find my last one. Oh, there we go. All right. All right, one more. This young man was another key contributor to our team during the last 3 years. He's been an ever-present in our defense during that time. He, like Colin and Ikeel and Nastu and Olivet and some of these guys, I've known him for 7-8 years. He's an incredible athlete. He's a wonderfully technically skilled soccer player, and he has superb positional awareness. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time. He's one of the best 1v1 defenders I've ever seen. I can count probably on one hand the number of times he's been beaten in those types of situations. His recovery speed is remarkable as well, and on the few occasions where he does get beaten, he recognizes that danger and almost always makes up for it. He's a player that gives his all in everything he does, every run, every activity, every session. And though he isn't a rah-rah type of leader who leads with his voice, he's a leader with his actions and the way he goes about his business. He's another, as I said, one of the crew that I've known for many, many years. And I can remember him as a funny little pencil of a boy running the sidelines as a ball boy when I coached his older brother, Bruce. Yeah. To see him grow up on the field and in the classroom, because I also had the opportunity to teach him, has been a really incredible experience. And I know he, like all these young men, will go on and achieve great things beyond MW, and we look forward to hearing about it. As a junior, he was named a first-team Times Herald Record All-Star, first-team All-Section player, first-team All-Class AA. As a senior, he too was named to the All-State Team New York State Large School format, and is the third of our All-America and All-Regional nominees, Christian. All right, and that finally concludes the 9 pages of stuff that I wrote. So at this point, do you want to eat dessert, or do you captains want to speak?
Captains speak. Captains speak.
Break. Yeah.
All right, let's eat. We'll have a bathroom, a little break, and then we will